Hello and welcome back to Balanced Psychologies. I hope that you're all doing really well. So today I just wanted to quickly film this video. I don't normally film an extra kind of video, but I just wanted to kind of talk about this point, the discard phase. I know that so many of you have asked me about this or are kind of really unsure about this because I know that we've mentioned it so much in like previous videos and on the comments. And actually I was doing a session with a client and we were talking all about this, and it inspired me basically to come on here and just do this kind of extra video. In the video, I'm going to talk about what the discard phase actually is. What does it actually mean? How the narcissist or the toxic person kind of thinks about this and what they actually mean by the discard phase. Very vague kind of explanation, but you'll know what I mean as we get on into the video. Okay, so let's understand what the discard phase actually means. So what we're talking about is the discard phase within a narcissistic or a toxic relationship. So for us, the discard phase means, okay, that's it, that's the end of the relationship, goodbye, like you just left me in the lurch, I don't understand what's going on, but okay, right. So then comes the kind of a trauma bond that, you know, we break down because we don't really understand what is happening here, because actually 1 minute it's all right, then the next it's not, and it's this kind of up and down of the relationship. It is this cycle of value, devalue, I want you, I don't want you. This is kind of like the push and pull dynamics of the relationship. 1 minute they're really lovely and the next they're leaving. And so this is why we talk about the trauma. This is how a trauma bond is formed. So understanding that bit, we then go on to the discard phase. Now, the discard phase, okay, this feels really final. This feels like it's the end this time. And this is the kind of the point I'm talking about here, the discard. It's over, it's finished, or there is a long silent treatment. They're not talking to you. You can't communicate. So you kind of don't understand what has happened here. It's over. There's nothing. There's just like this nothingness, this kind of like tumbleweed moment. And we struggle with this idea. We struggle to understand what is happening here. We struggle to kind of put together like what has actually happened here. Like, I don't know. And it leaves you feeling like really unbalanced because you don't actually have an understanding of what has happened here. You know, like 1 moment it's all right, then it's not. So this is when the narcissist kind of says to you with their behavior, or they even say verbally that that's it, I don't want to, it's finished, it's over. They might even say that they're with somebody else. And so this is why it feels so final. So for you now, you have to go and grieve the relationship. You have to put it, like process it in your mind that it's over. It's, you know, this person's never going to be in your life again. Particularly like, you know, with long-standing narcissistic relationships, you're thinking like, how are we going to do this? We have children, maybe we have assets together. How are we going to process this? And this is the key here. There is no communication. There is no real, authentic communication where both parties know where they stand. It's kind of like, okay, I'm suspended in this nothingness. I don't actually know what's going on. After we have established, you know, what part this is or what's going on here, this is the next actual point I want to make. Okay, so the discard phase is the narcissist's gone. You are like, okay, what's going on here? This is how the narcissist thinks about it. All of this has got too much for me. I don't want to be here, so I'm just going to go. I may have somebody else on the sideline. They're making me happy. They're making me feel good at this moment. I'm just going to go, maybe be in their presence for a bit. I need to leave this situation because it's too much and I can't handle it. I don't know why I feel like this, but I just can't handle it. So that's why the narcissist disappears without no explanation, no recognition, and there's no opportunity to even kind of talk it out or talk about it. Because in order to do that, a person has to be able to accept responsibility and has to have some sort of understanding of emotional value here. And they don't do that because they don't come into this space, they don't come into this relationship authentically. So they can't really understand what is going on here. This is why they cut communication, whether that's verbal or non-verbal. They cut communication so that you don't actually know what's happening or what's going on. The narcissist thinks that if they leave, it doesn't mean that it's over. It means that they have to just kind of leave that situation because it's too much for them. So at some point, they will come back into your life, whether you like it or not. And in the meantime, what they're doing is they'll be watching you. Okay, whether that's on social media, whether that's through flying monkeys, through other people, they will always come back, whether you like it or not, whether that's weeks, whether that's months, years, decades, they will be back. The final discard doesn't actually mean it's the discard. It means that I'm just taking a break, I'm putting you on ice, and I'm gonna come back when I'm ready, when you have worked it out, when you have done all the emotional processing for both of us, because I can't, then I will come back, because it means that you're okay. Like, you're okay, you've got over this. There doesn't need to be an explanation. There doesn't have to be a responsibility of explanation. You're going to be okay. So that's when I'm going to come back. Maybe at some of these points you do have some sort of communication with a narcissist because you have children together or you have assets together. But at some point there will be a communication with the narcissist. And that's what the discard phase actually means. It means that I just need to leave for a bit and I'm going to come back. When you have a narcissist in your life, it's kind of like you have them for life, because it doesn't mean that you've got them for a little bit and then they leave. They will always be in your life in some form or another. Whether you do have contact with them or not, they will be watching you. They'll be keeping tabs on you because they need to. That's how they deal with these relationships. That's how they deal with these friendships, relationships, family ties maybe. This is all to do with the attachment disorder, the objectification, as it's known as well. They attach onto you and that's it. That's it. I'm attached to you. That, I'm with you for life, because they can't detach. They don't know how to do that. When they attach to somebody, they don't have an understanding of what attachment means. And that's why their kind of bonding or their relation to you is so dysfunctional. And that's why you don't really know where you stand. They do this because it is dysfunctional. They don't know how to be themselves. They want to bring themselves authentically to the relationship. They're there one moment, then they're not. They're there, and that's the push and pull of that relationship. So why should it be any different when they leave that relationship? We can see it in terms of objectification. You're an object, you serve a purpose. But this really has a lot to do with attachment and being able to bond, being able to relate in a way. And that's what this narcissistic personality disorder really is. It has implications on interpersonal relationships. And that's where the crux of this disorder is. They don't come into this relationship authentically. They don't understand their emotions. They don't understand environmental, emotional, and social cues. So when they leave this discard, it doesn't mean it's over. They just don't know how to deal with something in that given moment, and they have to leave. Now they know, possibly some of them even feel guilt, might feel shame. Not all of them, depends where they are on the spectrum. They can't come back because of these elements, of these concepts that are bothering them. Narcissistic personality disorder is a relational disorder. It's very much a bonding disorder. And because they don't know how to have relationships, or they don't understand relationships. So that's why they mirror you a lot of the time. That's why these dysfunctions come out within the relationship. That's why they behave and talk to you the way that they do, because they don't know how to behave in a relationship. They don't know what it means. It's very much one-sided. You do what they say and we're okay, we're gonna be fine. This is why they have extramarital affairs. This is why they have so many friends. This is why these friends are the flying monkeys. This is why people are all taken in by their kind of behavior. They like to tell people what they want to hear, and they feel that that is what relationship is. And it's not, as we know. So guys, I really hope that this video helps to explain to you kind of what the discard phase. The discard phase isn't the final bit. Oh no, they'll be back. So thank you so much for watching. As always, we do have the Patreon membership, which all the details are down below. Also the Wizio, if you have a question for me, I will answer it in a video format. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.